How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of collaboration time in the form of Springdale Brewing and Counterweight Brewing. It is their Chat Room India Pale Ale. Springdale, I've had a bunch of their beers before, or I've reviewed a bunch of their beers before. They're basically the splinter version of Jack's Abbey. They're the subdivision of Jack's Abbey that allows them to do non-lagering stuff. And Counterweight, this is actually my first foray into anything they've done or touched. So, yeah. This beer comes courtesy of Steven. Thank you very much. He sent me a box of New England down, a bunch of mystery stuff, and then some unwrapped stuff. This is one of the unwrapped ones, so thank you very much, brother. What does it say on here? Springdale by Jack's Abbey Brewing, Counterweight Brewing, Chat Room IPA. It says, let's see, it's an India Pale Ale, 6.5% alcohol by volume, and it says, an IPA with South African hops, brewed, keep cold, drink fresh. That's pretty much it. There's a whole bunch of like chat roomy stuff on here that is going to come off really bad if I read it. So I'm not going to. Made in the USA, and this be canned only like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, best by date. You don't see that a lot, especially on these kind of new school hazies. You see your born on dates, you don't see a best by date. So definitely must have been canned at Jack's Abbey. Yeah, brewed by, and which I assume canned at Jack's Abbey because they're getting quite big. We see a bunch of their stuff in our market. A bunch of people out there, especially on the East Coast, probably see their stuff. So anyway, label-wise, it's alright. You know, it's 80s. You know, it's an 80s chat room kind of thing going on. So, you know, with that kind of little IRC, ICQ kind of thing going on in the back. So, yeah, I dig it. But trying a little bit too hard, maybe? I don't know. I was just talking about an IPA. India Pale Ale, Counterweight Brewing, no idea what they do. Jack's Abbey can definitely go the kind of clean, crisp, clear route of the lager portion of the show, but they also deal with the hazies. And this one's kind of somewhere in between, to be perfectly honest with you. You can definitely see through it, definitely glean some light through there. But, you know, it does have a nice subtle haze to her. Pinky finger, perfectly white head, nice creamy top to it, pretty uniform bubbles, seems a couple stragglers, and yeah, interesting. Looks more kind of like one of their hazy lagers than anything else, but they call it an IPA, so it's not a lager yeast-based beer, so let's get a nose. Yeah, it's got this nice kind of soft fruitiness. It's like it's running the spectrum. It's giving you a little bit of soft kiwi, a little bit of soft citrus, a little bit of soft peachiness. So you're getting each bits and pieces of that fruit spectrum when it comes to the hops. There's a nice sweetness to it. It's coming off not like a soft kind of powdery sweetness, but it's not all the way candied. It's somewhere in between. And I'm not really getting much as far as a bittering component in it. Seeing it's just a super soft generic bittering. So she smells nice, but she smells a lot like some of their IPLs, a little bit of their Imperial Pale Lagers as opposed to an IPA. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, the bittering comes through, and it's slightly pithy, but a little bit ashy. So there's this ashy bitterness to it, a little bit of pithy, kind of orange in there, a hard candy, under-sweetened sweetness. It's like it's sweetened hard candy, but almost like they ran out of syrup when they're actually making the hard candy. So you get this sweetness, but it's almost like a watered-down kind of sweetness. There's really not much there for me to grasp on, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not, I was actually going to say it's not overtly negative, but that little bit of an ashy component kind of makes me kind of dip my toe into the kind of, not for me kind of water. It's very uninspiring, very kind of disjointed. You know, you have that sweet portion to show, but it's not really showing a full sweetness. It's a little bit of a watered down kind of sweetness. I'm getting that bittering, but it's very generic and kind of one tone. You get a little bit of soft ashiness. It's like a kind of bittering kind of ashiness to it. In the fruit portion of the show, if you're going to showcase hops in that kind of manner, aren't really showing. You're not getting much else beyond that. You're not getting herbal tea, bittering, piney, any of that stuff. And, mouth feels fine, but it comes off more as like a softly hopped kind of lager. Than anything else. Yeah, it really doesn't just express anything that's kind of tantalizing or noteworthy. Kind of a miss for me, to be perfectly honest with you. Kind of a bummer, because I am a Springdale fan. More a Jack's Abbey fan than Springdale. I like the beers that Springdale produces, the ones that I've had. But I definitely like their kind of take on lagers more than that. Like I said, I haven't had much from Counterweight. But it's a fine beer. It's okay. It stands that little bit of ashiness, which with each sip kind of goes away a little bit more. So it's not like something that heightens with each sip. It just kind of is missing something for me. A little bit of personality, if you will. But yeah, it is what it is. Mediocre beer. Not overtly negative, but at the same time, nothing I would really kind of chime home about or kind of, trumpet on the top of that beautiful soapbox I tend to stand on from time to time. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better pale ales I've had as late? Definitely not. Value and availability, no idea. It was sent to me. Maybe Steven or somebody else out there can actually clue us in and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you want to drink a beer that gives you hints and drips and drabs of IPA-ness, I haven't said that one in a while, IPA-ness, and but you don't want the full-fledged bits and pieces, I don't know. It's just kind of a miss for me, so it's not really something I would end up kind of recommending. The only thing I could see positive about this, if I'm going to kind of skew in any angle, and I've said this before, is that if you find it on draft, try it. I want to try it again. I want to see if this is a can anomaly or maybe it's tonight. I don't know, but it's just not sitting well for me. And it's kind of a bummer, be perfectly honest with you. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little Springdale jammer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.